Hey guys, I'm back. So I've been trying to make a couple. I've already tried to make like a couple videos here and there for which focuses on my new build. Right now, I am just downloading a free trial of Sony Vegas Pro 23. So at the moment, and you should have seen my new monitor there. So at the moment, I'm just trying to test that out. I've got a few ideas about what to do going forward for my life in general. But yeah, this download's actually taking a bit long. So yeah, I figured I'd just sit here and chill and talk to you guys for a bit. So but yeah, my arm's probably just gonna kill me a bit. So I just think this is the most flexible way to be recording stuff because my webcam is just static and you can't really see my setup. This is my setup right here. So we see Sony Vegas, just downloading over there. But yeah, later I'm thinking of actually buying it. Because there's a good chance I'm probably gonna buy, go for a lifetime plan and just buy it then, because it seems pretty affordable. I just don't know if I'm gonna get it like straight after my Centrelink payment, or maybe a bit after that, because I still got other payments to make. For startup fees for the channel. So anyway, let's move in closer to my rig here. Yeah, fuck, this reflection is driving me nuts. So let's identify all my parts here, shall we? Or just look at everything. So the case, so obviously a lot has changed since that last video I made. I think the last video was me covering my build, or stuff that I was getting. Like I had a CPU, I had all the main parts, but it was a completely different build. I'm still using the same CPU, which is a Ryzen 7 9700X. It's maybe like I said, it's sort of like about the same as a 7700X, but it uses less power. But even if you set a PBO, it could probably you could probably set the performance overboost to probably about the same amount of power draw in total. But this CPU, the CPU that I've got, 9700X, is built to be more efficient and save more power. But you can set its options up in the BIOS to make it run more intensely, I should say. So it would just use up more wattage. But yeah, right now you can see like how much power it's using up that my cooler is displaying. So my cooler right here is just sitting atop of the CPU. So I've got idle temperature, 44 degrees Celsius. Just the usage number always kind of jumps, and sometimes it spikes a little, then it will go down to 8% or 0%. But yeah, it's at that percentage because I'm still, I've just got one app open, I think, just trying to download something. So I had a smaller case, an ITX case, which, it's not in here anymore. I put it in the garage. And I had some issues with that. I had cooler incompatibility issues. I had a Montech Hyperflow Silent 240mm AIO, and turns out the radiator was too big, like it was too long to fit into the old case. So yeah, I just couldn't really fit it in on the side. I could have put it on the front of my case, but I also had other issues with my motherboard as well, my ITX motherboard, that there weren't as many headers for my fans, because I wanted to use, multiple fans and RGB fans as well. Because as you can see here, I have an RGB fan set up. Not that many RGB fans, but technically if you think about it, it is quite a lot. Like there's 3 there, a 4th one, and a 5th one for my cooler. So I've got quite a bit, and usually if you got an AIO, you need, I think, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm guessing, in total. Some people need, more than 6. Like you'll see some setups where maybe some people have fans down the bottom, or they have, fans. I was gonna put it like at the top. There's a dust filter here that you can screw a 240mm one at the top here, which is what I tried to do, because I got another cooler, but then I realized, well, I didn't like to work with the cabling too much, cable spaghetti, as I would say. So that's why I was like, fuck it, like let's just get a normal CPU cooler. And yeah, from what I saw online, this is a deep cool. So this one right here, the CPU cooler, is a deep cool AK, I think it's AK400 digital. So there's a version where it doesn't have the digital display, then this is the digital display version. I think it's AK400 Pro Digital or whatever, something like that. Yeah, so it's AK400. And there's also other versions as well where like it's a double cooler, like it's got 2 fans, so it would be like a bigger block. And there's also another one for digital display that's that size. So yeah, I just got like a normal one with a digital display, and I think that's really the best thing to really go for if you just want something simple to start off with, like me. And the cool thing is, I got my RGB to sync up into my motherboard. So these two, my cooler and my RAM sticks, I got G-Skill Trident, I think they're called that, G-Skill Trident RGB 32GB RAM. So yeah, pretty good. I got enough for gameplay. I got just about enough for Sony Vegas. It's actually 4K edits are capped at 32GB. So, I'm good, but just about enough for there. But I don't intend to actually edit with 4K. Maybe 1080p or 1440 if I want to push it. Yeah, because it just depends like what kind of camera I'm using or the quality that everything is. The quality on this phone is actually not that good. And after playing Cyberpunk on my computer as well, it can't actually run, I don't think it can run Benchmark comfortably. It probably could run Benchmark, but like, it's, yeah, like it's obviously gonna put a load on this system if I like run the game at benchmark settings or ultra settings. So I just run the game on like performance, or like I have ray tracing enabled, but I've disabled most of the other ray tracing features. So man, I look so tired. Yeah, my eyes like look a bit like dark down here. I don't know if it's lighting. Yeah, it could be lighting, I don't know. I know I'm rambling on here, but yeah, at least I'm showing the whole setup. Maybe I should take the glass off so you guys can see inside better. But I can see, besides seeing my reflection. Anyway, So yeah, so that was my cooler covered, my RAM. The case that I've got is a Fractal Pop Air Extra Large, so it's a full tower. Oh, this says it's done, so I don't know if that's going to complete automatically down there. What? Didn't I just fucking tick you off before? Oh, downloading utilities or some shit. Anyway, so let me just roll my chair over here. My $109 chair, which means it's a shit chair. What the fuck? Why does this keep fucking doing this, man? Wasn't this just checking this all off before? The fuck? Deep learning models. I guess it's for each thing they need to install, I suppose. Okay. I'm like getting ready to click it again. Yeah, so I've covered my cooler, my case, you know, the fans that came with the case, and it's got an RGB controller in the wiring a bit behind there. So everything, my fans connect to the RGB controller. They go into, you know, two sysfan headers separately. This one goes sysfan 1 up there somewhere. Those three, they are linked all together, and then they go down here and they connect into the header down there, and then they're also fed into an RGB cable. The RGB cable, the RGB cabling is actually quite a mess at the back of my setup, being that I'm a first time builder here. So yeah, so I mean it's a bit of a cable spaghetti at the back of my setup, but it doesn't really matter if you don't see it. So yeah, otherwise you would have thought this was a clean setup. You could probably see that there's like some cabling you know, below my graphics card. But yeah, so that's how I have, oh fucking hell, cunt. Fuck, let me make my video, cunt. Anyway. Like you can see, that's my audio. So, you know, that just feeds into my headphones. Fucking. So yeah, and then the real big feature of my setup is obviously, and the motherboard that I'm using is a Gigabyte B650 Gaming Series XAX, I believe. Motherboard, ATX motherboard. So that's how big it is there. And then, you know, I guess nothing special. It's a pretty good motherboard. I don't know what to say. I mean, it has been through the ringer since please forgive me, guys. This is fucking annoying. Please forgive me. I know not what I do. Anyway. So, yeah, so it's a pretty good motherboard. I like it. And even after all the shit that I've done to it while I was building, like I swear that the thing was like broken as soon as I fucked my PCIe latch up. When I was trying to install this this graphics card, which I'll get to in a moment, it's actually quite thick, so it was a bit hard to insert into my motherboard, and And my motherboard at first was actually quite tight. You know, like it had tightly screwed screws for the M2 card. I think you call them heat sinks, or the covers where you put the cards in and plug them in. So like I got one just above, that's my main storage right there. So I got an M2 SSD tucked right underneath that heatsink cover, if I'm correct. I think they're called heat sinks. And then there's another one underneath my graphics card, but I don't have anything in there at the moment. It's like a square, and you can, I think so, and then you can like chuck literally 2 more little cards in there. So I could chuck in 2 more storage drives if I want, 2 more cards, and those cost a lot. I mean, you know, they cost about as much as this fucking RAM here. I mean, that was a pretty big spend too, the RAM, because, oh yeah, I forgot to say this. My motherboard is an AM5 board, so it's one of the newer generation boards, or the newest. Yeah. So like I would assume that, you know, if you're a computer geek, you know, you might be with an AM4, or you might have an Intel board. I've got an AM5 board, and I would say they're not super common. I mean, not a lot of people might be using them, and I've noticed that there are some compatibility issues with installing certain coolers, like that older AIO that I got, the Montec Hyperflow Silent 240. Apparently that's more suited for Intel and AM4 builds because it utilizes backplate installation, whereas AM5 motherboards do not do that. You're not supposed to take off, well, I believe you're not supposed to take off anything off the back of the motherboard and connect mounts through the back of it. So with AM5 motherboards, you know, you're supposed to attach things on the front of the board. You're supposed to just use those CPU things, you know, there's clips where the CPU goes. There's like one clip on the top of the socket and one below, and you could use them to either clip another cooler on, whether it's a pump block or maybe even a normal fan air cooler like this. But for my one, it came with a kit to install with anyway, so I could just chuck in like orange, you know, screw holes. I just chucked them into my screw holes on the motherboard on the socket, and yeah, just put screws in and shit, put a frame in, and yeah, man, it's pretty simple installation. So, but yeah, it was all super simple. Anyway, I'm going off track. I mean, just talking about compatibility with my board, but that is a very important thing to take note of, you know, because then if you get a cooler, you know, and I checked the specs too. It's like every you know, seller of these products, well, not every seller of these products actually, you know, tell you the truth, or they just say, oh yeah, it's like AM4, AM5 compatible, right? They chuck that on, and then when you get it, right, then you find out, oh, well, it's not actually physically compatible because it doesn't come with the fucking kit, the right kit to put on your fucking board. So yeah, anyway. But yeah, this board's like been through a lot. Like, you know, I've broken the PCIe latch off it, but my fucking graphics card is sitting there nice and good. So yeah, that was a whole disaster on its own. I literally thought my graphics card was like, you know, too big to put in, or the PCB was too thick, or the card itself was, or the board itself was just a tight fit, you know. So like, I was at that point where I was trying to get a vertical setup, which is why things were delayed. And yeah, I mean, I obviously figured things out in the end and just went with, well, yeah, just tried to install a graphics card normally. Yeah, so I'm pretty like happy that this motherboard is, you know, working pretty fine. Nothing's wrong with it. Even though like I've dropped a few screws on it and all that, and then yeah, just fucked up the PCIe latch. So, but yeah, the graphics card, it's tightly secured into the board, so that's all that matters for the time being. So yeah, it's just going to be tricky replacing the motherboard, I guess, because I guess I don't really feel like replacing it, because then I got to get a new Windows installation. It turns out actually like the key that I got as well from a Windows installation wasn't actually that much money. It was actually like some other, yeah, maybe it was actually like a third-party website or something, and it literally only costed me like $14 or $12 to get a key, and I was able to activate it instantly. So look, here's the proof in the pudding. No watermark in the corner there. So I was able to actually use that key and it fucking worked. So, you know, I could try, you know, if anyone wants to try that, I mean, you could literally just search it up online. That's what I did. I mean, and I was able to find that website, and then I just, you know, was able to get the link after I bought it, like instantly. So, yeah. So just super smooth, like installation process and all that. Not for the hardware though. Anyway, it's taken me too long to get to this. So the beast of my whole setup is, so my graphics card, I got a Gigabyte GeForce RTX 4070 Super, and it's a WindForce OC, 12 gigabyte VRAM. I don't know if you can see this fan spinning up. No, they're not. They're pretty idle, so they're not doing anything right now. So yeah, it's just weird, I think, but I guess it's just trying to like save power and stuff, because the fans don't spin up unless maybe I'm playing a game, or like if it's under load. So yeah, that card has its own cooling as well. So I've got pretty good cooling in my whole setup. I mean, even with my CPU, it's under pretty good temperatures even when I play Cyberpunk. Like, well, it's probably, maybe it could be because like I set the settings lower, but still, it looks fucking magnificent. I don't know if I should show it on here, but it looks fucking magnificent, even with some settings tweaked to like lower levels, like whether it's like textures and stuff. And yeah, overall, like my gameplay is pretty good. Like, I reckon I averaged to around 100 FPS on it, or like a bit over that. And yeah, like for a game like that doesn't really matter because it's not a competitive game. So like, you know, you could play the game in like 60 FPS if you wanted to run everything on ultra. And yeah, I probably could do that, but I don't really see any point. Like, yeah, to me, FPS and performance matters more than just, you know, smoothness of gameplay matters a lot more than visuals, or yeah, just how good the game looks, you know. So, and again, it just puts too much pressure on my system anyway. Like, I don't like it because my CPU apparently doesn't like it. Yeah, being that it's like a pretty high-end CPU that I got, well, I wouldn't say it's high-end, but like it's good. It's a good CPU, and yeah, Cyberpunk just makes it fucking spike if you push it. So the game, you know, really pushes both the CPU and GPU. So I get a balanced, you know, output, I should say, of the CPU and the GPU. They both, you know, function well. They both get pushed by Cyberpunk, especially. Yeah, so, yeah, but, you know, yeah, that's why I adjust the settings and, you know, just try to make myself happy. And yeah, so this thing can run pretty loud, you know, if it's pushed. Yeah, you know, that's all I'm saying, because it needs to cool the system down. So yeah, I think I've covered everything in my build. Like, that's my tower here. It's really massive, you know, like recording it doesn't really do it justice. I mean, it's a lot bigger than how it appears on screen. If you were here in person, you'd be like, fuck me, man, this thing's fucking big. And it is. Because yeah, compare it to the size of that monitor there. I mean, it's massive. So yeah, so anyway, since I'm in this room at the moment, I'm hoping that it's more of a temporary setup. Bruh, this video is probably easily over 30 minutes by now. I wonder if I can set this anywhere. Yeah, so at the moment I'm just in the study where we used to have our old computer. Not exactly, it was on the other desk. But yeah, I liked having it here. I get nice lighting coming through here. Yeah, it's really nice just looking outside while I'm just, you know, using the computer. And yeah, so I'm hoping that it's more of a temporary setup, sitting here in the study. Yeah, because as I said before, I did want to put my setup in my room. And yeah, obviously I got a bit ahead of myself the last time, you know, wanting it to be in my room. My room is actually quite small, even though it's like one of the bigger rooms of the house, one of the bigger bedrooms. My mum and dad's is the biggest, but in terms of like the normal bedrooms, my one's the biggest, and it's not that big. So, you know, I'm just figuring out, well, what to do. But anyway, because it's, you know, because I'm living with mum and dad, you know, I have to obviously run everything through dad, and talk to him about it, or, you know, get him on board and, you know, really see what he says. You know, he did mention maybe putting this stuff in the back room, which is more of a storage room, some time ago. So yeah, right now, like, you know, that room's like more of a, you know, guest room, which doesn't really get used. It's got like a really shit single bed in there. And yeah, it's got a cot in there too, and then all these toys and clothes and shit that mum gets for the grandkids, and even for my cousin's kids too. So she's very overgiving. I'm not jealous, it's just that she spends a lot of money and then fills, you know, the room up with a lot of clothes, baby clothes and toys and shit, which don't need to be in there. And yeah, my dad and I are probably gonna, yeah, probably gonna really change that room up, fucking move all that shit out somehow. But that's what my dad proposed. So yeah, it just seems like, you know, we're gonna just, we'll see. All right, like, I don't know if that's actually gonna happen. Right now I do like where I'm at with this, you know, whole setup. Yeah, I mean, it's like pretty spacious, but the only issue is, if you saw where I was, you know, turning my, like when you saw beforehand, you saw that there was the hallway was right there. So yeah, it's not exactly private, and I would have hoped for a more private setup, so I can make my videos, because I mean, I'm making a video right now, but that's like because no one's home, and I just feel like it's, you know, being like a bit more on the introverted side, like I feel a bit cringe about the idea of like making a video when other people are present. in the house. It just seems weird, and you know, my parents might come along, and if I'm like, I don't know, if I act up in a video or something, give some sort of reaction, because I will make reaction content. Let's say I swear, and I swear a lot. That's something they're used to. I mean, if I like, let's say I throw a temper tantrum, like while playing a game or something, or while I'm just really focused on something, or get really passionate about a certain topic, yeah, they'll probably tell me to tone it down, or yeah, like come on stream and then like tell me off and stuff. So, and yeah, I've just had like other moments, you know, other instances in the past where yeah, I've obviously misbehaved on online platforms. So, you know, yeah, so, you know, like I'll try to act as reasonable also that I mean, I believe I've changed a lot in that regard. but yeah, also, yeah, you know, it's just embarrassing, you know, like, so that's why I think like I just prefer to have my own space to record stuff, where yeah, like people will still see what I'm up to online, but it's like, well, like I just can have greater control over it, and it's just like more, it feels more private, even though it's not so private at the same time, you know. It just lets me concentrate, lets me focus. But anyway, for the time being, like this is, you know, good enough. Happy to stay here for a bit. And yeah, I don't know if I'm still going to be making videos from this room, or if I'm just going to create when no one's home, like create some videos when no one's home. So, yeah. So yeah, this is obviously quite a milestone for me, and yeah, like I would say this is like my dream PC right here. Like, you don't really need like, I don't think you really need anything better than this. Like, if this computer can handle 4K video editing on Sony Vegas Pro, those are the specs. I've got, you know, better specs than what was actually required. If it can handle 4K video editing, I'm way ahead. So I've really got, you know, whatever I need. But like I said, I'm not going to be making stuff in 4K. Not anytime soon. All right, you might be seeing, like I said, something in 1440 if I stretch it, or just something in 1080. All right, this isn't even 1080. I think this is more like 720 once it goes up on the internet. It's like compressed, and then it looks like a fucking, you know, potato quality video. You know, it's just full of static and shit. It's like if I record like this with lighting, you know, it probably looks a lot better. And if it was like more stable, and if I like let's say this was on a tripod, so everything probably looks a lot more, you know, stable, right? And you don't see those eye bags or those, you know, gray lines under my eyes as much. They actually look white. So see, yeah, I probably look a lot more, you know, younger and more handsome in the lighting. And then I come over here, and then it's like I look like a zombie. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, as you can probably tell, I mean, recording on the phone is probably better than recording on the webcam. So I would be looking at getting a new webcam at some point as well. I still got to get a microphone. I still got to get a capture card for gameplay, because I'm going to do gameplay reactions. I think I should make a separate video and upload 2 videos today. That might give me a lot of stuff to edit with, because I'm trying to, I'll save that for the next video. So, stay tuned. I'm going to make another video, release it with this one, publish it with this one, and then, just edit those 2, post them separately, because I got a lot to really talk about right now. Depends too if my mum's, it's only 10:33. I'm assuming she's out with friends today, having a coffee. So she usually, I think she does the shopping either today or tomorrow. So yeah. So she might be gone probably and come back maybe like at 2ish. So anyway, I'm going to stop it here and continue on with my next video. Oh yeah. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned and subscribe now.